Okay, we are back again. So the last time, on the last video, we covered contact for visit. Let's go down to the last scene report. This will just give you some basically a report of the last time that you saw the individual and when their next appointment is due. So we can sort this in a couple of different ways. We can sort this by follow-up due. So let's say Cinderella test, the last review was 2/25/24. We need to see them on 4/25. They live in a zip code of 23111. They're in Richmond on a 60-day schedule. It also shows us too that we already have an appointment set up for Cinderella. So here is her date and time of her next appointment, and it's going to be a routine review. So the sorting here, we can sort by follow-up just simply by choosing the word follow-up, and it will sort those in date order, or by zip code if you want to group all of your people as you're trying to set them by a zip code. It will sort them by city, by review schedule. So you can do all of those sorts however your brain wants to see this. You could also go to the details. So Cinderella test, if we just hit Cinderella test, it will take you to our main details page for that individual. So you can see more information about her. And we'll get to our main details page in a second. So I'm going to hit the logo for toddlers to go right back where we were. And here you are at that last scene report. So last scene report, you can sort by your name, find your name. You can sort by the last time that you saw them, the follow-up date, zip code, city, and review schedule. So let's go to the next one. We've got view my upcoming appointments. So we can hit view my upcoming appointments, and this is just really helpful in order to print and keep in the car for you. So if you are putting in your appointments for your individuals as you make them, which I really want everyone to begin doing, I do not want it not done for lots of different reasons. It's not that we want to see what your move is every single day. Gosh, you could be setting appointments an hour before. When admin on the DD side and CCC Plus side, when they're trying to get a feel for the plans that they have to submit and when they have to submit them to which MCO, because it's all a different schedule, they search when their plans are due or when their plans are ending. And then they need to search, okay, I wonder, do we have an appointment set with them? Have we seen them within the past 60 days? Do we have a plan of care? Do we not? So it's a lot of information for them to go through. And then they find, okay, we've got 3 people who are due in 25 days, but we haven't seen them. So then they're compiling lists, reaching out to service facilitators individually, like, hey, do you guys have these people on your books? And so there's communication from them to you, and then you've got to stop everything you're doing. Look up all of that stuff for admin. Look at Jane Doe, look at Mary Test, and find all of that information and get it back to whoever is contacting you from the CCC Plus side or the DD side, and let them know, no, I don't have an appointment for them, but I will get one made. Yes, I've got an appointment with them. Here it is. So you can cross it off your list. All of that type of, I call it dead communication. I call it dead communication because it could be avoided. It can be avoided if we keep when you make an appointment, if you put it in here, we can see you're already on top of it, so there's no need to contact you about it and waste either your time or admin's time. So that's why I want you to put your appointment dates and times in here. So when you pull up this report, it'll show all of your folks, and it'll show, we're going to hit sort by review date. It will show the primary caregiver. Well, it'll show your person, the primary caregiver, their address, their phone number, the date you have it scheduled for, and time, and what review it is. It is sorting them and grouping them. So, excuse me, I'm so sorry. By the date. So on 2/26, we have Jack Test. On 2/27, we have Jane Test, and so forth. And they're grouped this way along with the address and phone number together, so you could print this report and just have a piece of paper in the car with you. I always find that helpful to have them written down right beside me in the car, and you're ready to go. So we don't have it up here, but there'll be a print icon that'll easily, you can just hit print, and you can print this at home off your printer, so you can have a paper copy in the car with you if that's helpful. So let's go back to our dashboard, and let's look at member details. So if you remember on this last scene report, if you wanted to find out more information about Cinderella Test, you would just choose her name and it takes you right here, right? So I'm going to go back to our dashboard again, and you hit member details, takes us right here. And what does this tell us? It gives us details about this individual. The very front that you're going to see is you can find out who the primary caregiver, the EOR is, who the aide is. Okay, I don't recognize that name. So who is the primary caregiver again? So you don't have to go digging through wherever you need to find it. You can just simply touch that field with her name, and it'll tell you that Tammy Test is her daughter. She does see her mom every day. And does she live with the primary? We live with the individual. She doesn't live with them. And the same for the EOR. You're simply touching the EOR's name, and it gives you the EOR's contact information and the relationship. And again, none of this is matching because we're just throwing information in here to play with. And for the aide, does the aide, are they related? Do they live together? What's the age schedule? So just quick information if you need to find it out about that person. Diagnosis. If you touch diagnosis, it'll tell you what her primary diagnoses are. Date of birth, how old they are, the start of care. If this was a DD migration or their start of care, you would find it here. Medicaid insurance, who it's through, MCO, their review schedule, their ISP year. If this is a DD waiver, you would see that here. Who their fiscal agent is. And obviously, this is a big deal when we're talking about Aetna, because Aetna can choose PPL or they can choose CDCN. So what else does the screen tell us? It tells us their address. Cinderella has her home address is here. She could have another address, and say other, and it could be grandmother. And then we could list the address for grandmother. Hi, honey. Phone number, email, the same. It'll list the phone numbers and emails that we have on file for this person. One thing that happened in Laura's a lot, which causes issues, it caused a lot of heartache, as folks would put in a telephone number and then they would put dash and whose phone number it was. Any database out there, that ruins the search selection. Makes it unable to search for a phone number if you have letters in there too, because you're trying to search for a number, but the field is confused because it has numbers and letters. So when you're adding a phone number, you want to add the type, whether it's mobile, PCG, EOR, other, work, fax, whatever it is. You want to put in the number, and then here you can put notes. Here's where you can put whose phone number that is for your own reference. And same for email. You can put an email address in here, and we come down to type, whether it's their own, the primary caregiver, the EOR, or you can hit other contact, as this one has done, and you can type in grandmother email and let us know whose email that actually is. EOR aid, Again, it's just detailed information for the employer of record, for the attendant, and family member as a justification. The support team, their backup person, their care coordinator through the MCO, their support coordinator through the CSB, CDPA provider, consumer directed personal attendant provider. For this person, it is us. We don't have the respite. Agency respite provider is Jill's House. They may have private duty nursing, or they may have an adult day health provider. They may go to an adult daycare, basically. Or maybe they have agency provider for respite or for CDPA and not us. Other services received could be something as VA benefits, their primary care doctor. Let's go back up, and case notes. And this is where you'll find any case notes for the individual. This is also where you'll find case notes that you may have left when you were trying to make appointments, so you can keep up with what you've done. And we can go back to individual here. So that is walking you around the member details. And again, this takes you back to your dashboard.